My name is Jamie Andrews, and in this video I'm going to show you the Tineco S7 Pro Combo, which is a wet-dry mop that comes with a stick vacuum. Put it through some tests and give you some pros and cons. You can buy the S7 Pro as a standalone mop, but it only saves you $100 over the combo, so in my opinion the combo is the one to get. When you first power on the S7 Pro, you are greeted by a helpful tutorial walking you through the operation of the machine on a very large and colorful display. But don't worry, if you need to get back to it, there is a dedicated help button on the handle, along with a power button and multiple other buttons to help you navigate and change the settings on the mop itself. You can also change the settings through the Tineco app, since the S7 Pro comes with Wi-Fi support, which is helpful for customizing these settings and allows for future firmware updates for the mop and vacuum. In the box, Tineco gives you a spare filter, a cleaning brush to help clean the machine, a spare brush roller, and a bottle of their cleaning solution, which frankly smells pretty good. The clean water tank located on the back holds around 800 milliliters of water when filled to the max line. The dirty water tank is on the front, which has a 700 milliliter capacity, and also houses the washable paper filter, along with a catch tray for any solids that you will pick up while cleaning. One unique feature of the S7 Pro is a unique self-propelled system that assists you with moving the mop backwards and forwards. Removing the lid from the roller, you can see a large soft roller brush, which is removable for cleaning. To remove it, you pull on a ring on the side and pull it straight out. It is a little cumbersome and clunky to remove compared to other mops that I have reviewed, and it's just as difficult to put back on the mop without two hands. Under the mop, we see two smaller front wheels along with a rubber scraper. This is the first mop that I have tested with front LED lights to light its path, which are very helpful. Up front, the battery, which also doubles as the vacuum motor and color display, is removable. This is because it is shared between the mop and the stick vacuum, but more on that later. I put the S7 Pro through my standard test for a wet-dry mop, starting with a few cracked eggs on tile floor. This test showcases the excellent cleaning ability of the S7 Pro, and it was run in max mode. The S7 Pro made quick work of this mess. Next, we move on to the solids, with the first test being cat food. And while I don't recommend using a wet-dry vacuum for this type of mess, as it's better suited for a stick vacuum, you certainly can. Notice where the solids are separated from the dirty water, which allow you to toss the solids in the trash instead of pouring them down your drain with the wastewater. The next test is with cat litter, and I'm looking to see if it slings cat litter, which thankfully that was kept to a minimum here. Next, I test the ability of the S7 Pro to clean grout by using flour, and the S7 Pro performed on par with other single roller mops that I have tested. Last, we have the baked on hot sauce test, where I use a high-powered heat gun to bake on hot sauce on my tile floor. The S7 Pro took a few passes to remove the hot sauce, and I'd say once again it's on par with the best of the mops in this test. After the hot sauce test, it is a perfect time to test the self-cleaning ability of the S7 Pro. After placing it on the dock, you will press the self-cleaning button on the top of the handle, and you have two options to choose from. The first is a quick cleaning for 3 minutes, and the second is a super self-cleaning for 6 minutes. I was impressed with the self-cleaning results, and it's one of the best that I have tested. As you can see here, it nearly removed all the hot sauce stains from the roller. In my testing, I found both self-cleaning settings use 200 milliliters of clean water, which I found to be a bit odd. Both settings clean the roller with clean water for exactly 85 seconds, with the remaining time spent drying the roller brush by scraping the excess water off of the roller and extracting it into the dirty water tank. The S7 Pro, for some odd reason, does not have a heated roller drying system, meaning it must finish by air drying. Because of this, I recommend using the super self-cleaning, since it spends the extra time removing excess water from the roller. I found that after 24 hours on the dock, the roller is left partially wet, mostly on the bottom where it sits on the dock. Tineco recommends that you remove the roller and let it air dry, replacing it with the spare dry roller. Not ideal at this price point, but it is doable. On a more positive note, the S7 Pro includes dual edge cleaning, which is very important for getting near furniture and baseboards. In my testing, I found it got very close to the edge, only leaving a slight amount of the hot sauce on the floor, and it's one of the better results that I have seen. As far as runtime, I was able to get around 43 minutes with the mop in auto mode, which beats Tineco's claim of 40 minutes. Now let's take a look at the stick vacuum that is included with the S7 Pro combo. The vacuum sits on a very sturdy base, which I prefer over hanging it on the wall. The stick vac shares a single battery with the mop. First, you need to remove this battery blank from the vacuum and then release the battery from the mop and move it over to the vacuum. Once you start it up, you're now greeted with a tutorial for using the vacuum, which is very simple, as there's only one button on the vacuum that switches it from auto mode to max mode. Like the mop, if you keep it in auto mode, it will automatically boost the suction when it detects a large amount of dirt on the floor, and like the mop, it is very responsive and works quite well. The vacuum includes a tangle-free brush roller that can be easily removed for cleaning if needed. It took a few minutes to figure out how to remove it, so pay attention as I remove it in this video. Like the mop, the vacuum also has front LED lights, which I am a fan of. This is a fairly basic stick vacuum with only 2 extra attachments in the box. A 2-in-1 crevice tool with brush, which I often use to clean the filters on my air purifiers. It also converts into a narrow crevice tool. The other attachment is an upholstery cleaning head for fabric couches and chairs. It does not have a tangle-free brush, but you can easily remove the brush roller from the housing for cleaning. On hard floor surfaces, the stick vac quickly picked up spills with the powerful vacuum motor, and it boasts an incredible 65 minutes of runtime. On carpet, I tested the effectiveness by first starting out with rice, which proved to be no issue for the vacuum. Neither did the cat litter, although it did leave some behind in this test. When I moved on to my coffee test, you will notice some of the coffee left deep in the carpet after several passes. I think this is due to the fact that the cleaning head is not perfectly sealed on the carpet in the front to allow for larger debris pickup. The vacuum will let you know when the dustbin is full, and to empty it, you just need to push this latch to dump the contents over the trash. There's no size given for the dustbin, and I would say it is average in size for small jobs around the house. The vacuum has a dual stage filter, which consists of a cone filter, which can be removed using the battery blank. Very creative. On top of the cone filter is a foam filter, and above that is a removable paper HEPA filter. All 3 are washable, and just make sure you allow 24 to 48 hours for these filters to dry before using them in the vacuum again. Now let's discuss some pros and cons for this combo, starting with the cons. The single biggest con for me is the lack of hot air drying for the mop, which at this price point should be included and will lead to smelly and nasty roller brushes if you don't remove the roller after every cleaning to air dry, which if you remember is a bit of a pain to remove and replace. The next con is with the self-propelled system, which should be there to assist, and it did a very good job on my wood floors. However, on tile, I noticed it would often slip and not change directions when I did, causing the wheels to turn in the opposite direction. This was lessened some by changing the self-propelled mode to gentle in the settings of the mop, but not entirely eliminated, and it can't be entirely switched off. Next, you can buy the S7 Pro as a standalone mop for $799, which is double the price for a similar mop from Dreamy and Roborock, which happen to also include heated drying. But for only $100 more, you get a stick vacuum, which to me is a no-brainer and makes it a decent deal. With that said, when you buy the combo, you only have one battery to share between the two, with no option to purchase a second battery, which really does not matter anyway, since the dock for the vacuum only appears to have a place to charge. But flipping the dock over, we find there is no plug outlet in the hole. This means that when you are done vacuuming, you always have to move the battery back to the mop to charge. I can understand only including one battery in the box, but if they gave you an option to charge on both docks, you would not have to constantly move the battery back and forth. Now on to the pros, with the first pro being how well the S7 Pro does with water control on my floors. It puts down just the right amount of water and never left puddles of water laying on my floors. It has the best self-cleaning mop system that I have tested to date, and never had to remove hair or debris from the cleaning head thanks to the integrated scraper. Edge cleaning was on par with the best mops out there as well. Auto Boost works very well on both the vacuum and the mop, and quickly responded to changes on the floor. I am a fan of the added LED lights on the front of each, which make it easy to see dirt in dark corners of your room. Lastly, the docks are well designed with a place for every accessory that comes in the box. In the end, there's really only one thing holding this combo back from being fully class leading, and that's the lack of heated drying. If that does not bother you, then the S7 Pro cleans the floors better than any mop I have tested to date, and it is way more intelligent and advanced than the competition in most every other way. Links to both the S7 Pro and the S7 Pro Combo are in the description below. I want to thank each of you for watching this video, and if you have not already, please consider subscribing to my channel to support my efforts. Alright, take it easy out there, folks. Bye-bye.